Hi there, it's Brandy at Scrap Story, and just doing a little walkthrough video of my one little word for 2018. This is my first year ever participating in the one little word, so it's been quite interesting kind of getting comfortable with the concept of picking a word to focus on for the year and what that might mean and how that might influence me. So the word that I did pick for this year is might. Thank you very much, the husband of a fellow scrap story, for making this amazing might wooden word for me. And my intention behind the word might is ultimately around the concept of strength and intensity of purpose. And I've really tried to frame my oncoming year around that, like how might I be stronger, healthier? How might I be more purposeful in my scrapbooking? How might I, all those, that kind of concept. So it was really interesting to really focus on that word, and I didn't think I would have so much focus when I set up the album. I thought it would feel a bit more like scrapbooking, and in fact, it was interesting because I found myself kind of pausing in the scrapbooking process of it, which is how I've chosen to document, to really give thought to the concept of the might. So without further ado, this here is the album I have chosen. It is just a simple story. It's very simple, black kind of leather 6x8 album that uses the pocket page format, which I've started to dabble in just last December, and I'm really enjoying, at least in this size. In addition to this simple stories, I did order the whole kit and caboodle from Ali Edwards' shop for one little word. So all the cards and all the embellishments and all the dividers, and I also went back and ordered some of the not specific to 2018 but still one little word focused stuff. I didn't know if I'd get stuck, and so I wanted to make sure I had kind of those prompting supplies, and I think I will not get stuck, but I'm certainly loving the supplies, so I'm not regretting it at all. So here is my my album, and one of the things that I did do is I ordered both the transparencies as well as the hard cardboard months of the year type thing, and so I am using both. And the idea is, what I thought here was that I'd put the transparency first, and then I'd follow that with a photo of myself, and something that really, trying to pick photos that really, to me, where they bring memory, or I remember feeling strong, or it had that intensity of purpose, and they really kind of spoke the word might to me, and I felt quite comfortable in that word, or like I was embodying that word at that time. So this is me. I did a pilgrimage in Spain and Portugal last year, and that's my happy place, is walking with a heavy pack on. So I put that one in here, and this is to kind of start. The collection that I've chosen to use here is actually called Shine Bright, and it's from Kaiser Craft, and it's a bit of an older collection, but I love it. I love bees. I am called Bee generally, not my full name, Brandy. Anything kind of black, white, and yellow makes me happy. Kaiser Craft basically made this collection for me, and they just didn't know it. And so I love that I collected everything I could on the Shine Bright. And so not only is this album about me and my one little word, it's also bringing in that kind of the color scheme that makes me very, very happy. So I will start each month with the transparency, another picture of me, and then roll into the cardboard month separator. And I'll probably in the coming years take one of these into my next album, so we'll see how that all pans out. So here we go. So one of the things I did bring in that wasn't part of the prompts for January is 18 for 2018. I'm a big Gretchen Rubin and Liz Craft Happier in Hollywood and the Happier podcast, and they do their 18 for 18. I noticed on the One Little Word Facebook group that a couple other folks were doing that too, so I was quite inspired. So I started it with my 18 for 18, and I've just clipped it here because I'm going to bring it forward each month. Some of the other stuff I got from Ali Edwards was this kind of Make It Happen bookmark. I can't remember exactly what she calls it. And then you get these little Post-it notes, and so there's today, this week, and this month. So I'll just do that each month that I'm working on, and I'll move these around as needed. And then I'll keep these in the month by maybe just keeping them on here. So that's nice. So I actually leave it open like this in my craft room, my scrapbook room, which I call the beehive, ironically, so that I'm reminded of what I've kind of set up for myself. So there's the January card. Again, my word is might, energy, intensity of purpose or feeling, and again that concept of how might I. And I did personalize the cards a little bit. Again, that's the scrapbooker in me, just using the collection and some washi tape. Ellie's Studio, who hearts, she has the best hearts in the whole wide world, I tell you. And I did just do some kind of faux stitching with a pen around each of them to bring my look into it. My reasons why. Found a bunch of quotes. The one I love the most is "To find out who you are and do it on purpose" by Dolly Parton. And there's a lot of memory associated with Dolly Parton and me and my granny and growing up in Alberta. So that couldn't have been more perfect. My let go ofs and my invites. These are a couple of the cards that were with the kit. And again, I just kind of personalized things a little bit with my collection. Allie in her January video had mentioned that she's going to use the story of the month to reflect on the month. And that just hit me right hard, right to the heart. I definitely want to do that. So I went ahead and stamped it with reflections and kind of reserved the right to do this. I just really think that's a great idea. I don't take enough time to reflect. And so I think this will be a really good prompt for me. And then just carrying on, Take Action is another stamp. I did order her stamp set for the collection. And I just did kind of a reminder of what my scrapbooking goals are there. Just going to show you here. This is the stamp collection. And it's awesome. So yeah, good everywhere else. I can see these being used big time in my traveler's notebook too. So, and then these are just some pieces from the Kaiser Craft that I put in to kind of fill this space and really just reminding myself about what makes me smile and reminding myself about kind of the stuff I'm good at, or I feel confident when I'm doing, is probably a better way to put it. So if I'm ever not feeling that strength and intensity of purpose, to kind of remind myself that there's a couple things I think I have in the bag. So just remember, so if I stumble, it's okay. I can kind of fall back on these things. So I filled out the intentions and did do it by her suggestion of the physical, emotional, spiritual, relationship, and creative, and found that really actually quite good, and how much they overlap, but yet you could still come up with a good list for each. And again, just made it my own. And then I did the year ahead as well. This was tough. You know, I spent quite a bit of time in my beehive, in my craft cave, kind of coming up with this, but I think there's huge value. I don't think I've thought this deeply about something so specific to myself. And I do a lot of journaling and work through a lot of the kind of getting to know yourself better. And this just had a different feel to it. So that's my January, responding to the prompts. And then you can see here, I've just set up like my February again with that transparency, and then all the way through the year. So there's me, that's January. I am, how might I make it through the year with my one little word? We'll find out. So thanks very much.